Okay, so this is my other tomato bed. This is the one that doesn't, I started putting down some things to try to do I wanted to do all of the beds with the cardboard and mulch, but it was just so hot and I was afraid I was going to give myself heat stroke. I didn't have enough bagged soil. And I already had this stuff out. So I was like, you know what? I'll just keep these there to help try to keep some of the weeds like right around the base of the plants until they get more filled out, because then all of that shade should keep the weeds from growing. And it's been not bad so far because I'm able to just sort of hand pick them when they're small. I just have to come out early because it's flipping hot. That's a marigold. That's my personal size cantaloupe right there. I've got all the basils here. I've also got some onions planted in here. These are having an easier time coming up because they don't have to work their way through the cardboard and stuff. So I've got several over here. And I did the onions and the basil for companion planting for like pest control and stuff, and the marigolds as well. But I'm also using them if they get flowers for pollinators. I got a sunflower down there. I'll talk about that in a minute. See, this one's already bolting. So I'm using them for pollinators. Pollinators are good to have in the garden. These right here are my last slicer tomatoes. These are Cherokee purples. I've just got those two. And then starting here, they're cherry tomatoes. Now, I'm having some issues in this bed with the tomatoes. The tomatillos are doing fine. The ground cherries are doing fine. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if they somehow, like some sort of herbicide drifted in or what. But I'm just keeping an eye on things. So I came and cleaned out the bottom limbs, but like this one doesn't have a ton of greenery on it. So I have to be careful pruning it. This is a mingle mix tomato. It's a cherry tomato, and this is a mingle mix tomato, cherry tomato. And you can see the difference in them. This was kind of struggling. And it was looking really sad, but it seems to be bouncing back. So that's the thing with gardening. You just have to be patient and watch things and see what they tell you. Plants have their own language, and it's a silent language, and it's one you really have to study and learn. This one is pole cherry. These are going to be either red or yellow. And they're kind of a pearish shape. And I believe the mingle mix are more of a grape shape. This is not a tomato. This is tomatillo. It's just growing through the cattle panel. And then that's a nasturtium down there. Okay, so this sunflower, I planted this sunflower here. I came out a few days later, and it was just a stem. That's all it was. Somehow something chopped off the top, took off, I don't know what happened. So I just left it because it was doing fine. It wasn't wilting and dying, so I just left it. And you can see right here where it had gotten chopped off, and it's like growing right there. And it looks like it's doing a good job. So keeping an eye on that to see if I get any flowers. And on this side, I have a teeny little marigold that I grew from seed. It's another one of the white ones. The only ones I got were white. So we'll see how that goes. It's so tiny and the sun's hot. So I don't know. I might have put it out the wrong time. All right, so this right here is black strawberry tomatoes. Again, tomatoes that are giving me some problems. This black strawberry is way up here towards the top of the panel. This black strawberry is way down here. I don't know why. And these I thought were supposed to be cherry, but I think they're maybe more salad tomatoes or something, because these are kind of big. And you can see the streaky on them. Those are supposed to turn like a purple black color. I wanted to have rainbow colors in my tomatoes. So I'm just being patient with them. You can see how the leaves are all curled up. So tomato leaves will curl up like this in response to what's going on in the environment. If they get stressed out, stuff like that. This has got some purple on it. Sometimes purple can indicate damage of some sort, but there's no spots or anything on it. So I'm just kind of leaving it, just being patient with it, seeing what I can see. I kind of wish I had one of these somewhere else in the garden so that I could do a comparison, but it is what it is. All right, so this is my tomatillo. This is a purple tomatillo. I've got 2 of them. These things sort of grew like crazy, and they've got these fruit sacs all over them. All right, so this is lettuce leaf basil in the front, a lot bolted back here because this gets a lot of sun. This is a blue borage right here, and you can see the lettuce leaf basil. I trimmed the bottom of these, so I took like some really huge leaves off that were on the bottom for airflow, but those leaves get really huge. And these are ground cherries. And once I pulled these limbs up more, this ground cherry started to grow some. It was taking a long time, a lot longer than these. See, those are ground cherries. I've never grown ground cherries. I've been told that they are really good for snacking. They're good for jams and jellies. So I'm interested to try those. I've got a wasp flying around over there, and a lot of people would freak out, but I have discovered the one good purpose of a wasp is to lay eggs in tomato hornworms and then grow. It's a parasitic thing that it does to grow new wasp, and it effectively kills the tomato hornworms, and tomato hornworms are a menace in the garden. I've actually started coming out with a black light at night looking for those. All right, and so this is my personal size watermelons, and I was super excited yesterday because when I came out here, I noticed that one, and I noticed that one. I'm super excited. So, but I've got to figure out, like, some of these are only supposed to get, I can't remember the sizes of these melons, but they're only supposed to get between like 1 and like maybe 5 pounds, depending on which one they are. And I've got to remember which ones they are, but I got to figure out a way to support the fruit as it's growing. I don't know if I just need to get some plastic produce bags and tie them up with that so that when it gets big, they can grow inside the bag and they're supported, and it's not a big deal. So that's all my tomatoes. Now, right here beside the pool is the flowers. I haven't planted the ends of the beds. I just kind of stick things in there when I realize I need a spot for them. I don't know where they go. I just sort of stick them over here if they're flowers. That's a Cape Daisy. Its name is African Zulu Prince. Tulsi basil, oregano lavender, straw flower. These are zinnias. Some of my zinnias have started blossoming, and that one is just so beautiful. She's so pretty. I'm gonna look. I think I've got more of the plant tags on the other bed, but I got a couple down here. I don't have any on this one. This gorgeous Sunny bloomed 2 days ago. All these sunflowers. These are gonna be cool. This is like a multi-stemmed sunflower, so it's not gonna get just the one on the top. And then you can see, like, in the crotch of these, or the armpits of these, like, I might actually get tons of sunflowers back here. This is gonna be fun. And then this zinnia right here is a green zinnia. It's called Envy, and I'm just in love with it. It's a little plant. I wish I had grown some more. I might start some zinnia seeds of these because I have some more, so I might start some more and keep them in a pot and see how big they grow, because it's getting a good bit of shade over here with these sunflowers, and that might be affecting it, because I love to do zinnia cut flowers. It's my favorite. They stay good in a vase so long. So over here, all of these sunflowers, I've got a ton of buds developing. Last year was the first year I ever successfully grew a sunflower, and I was so excited. I was like, if I even grow a sunflower, it's a successful year. So I've just got a ton of buds. So this gets the sun the first, like before that bed back there does. So I think that's why they're taller and why there's more buds. It's just got longer exposure to sun than those do. These got a chance to grow up quicker than those did. All right, so we've got sunflower Rouge Royale. These are I do know that these are like the mammoth ones right beside the path. These are the ginormous ones. These are the mammoth ones. And yes, I realize I'm probably going to have to figure out how to support these. These are Vanilla Ice right here. I didn't put a thing on that. I did like rows of them. So I'll just be surprised. This one is called Zohar. These are more zinnias here. Oregano Lavender, Strawflower, Cape Daisy. That is a Clary Sage, and that is the Tulsi Basil. Now, under this Oregano Lavender today, I was out here hand weeding right around the base of the plants, and I found a little caterpillar down here. I'll see if it's still here. I'm not sure if it's a good one or a bad one. I don't see it. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. I don't know if it's a good one or a bad one. I'm just leaving it. Oh, there's a couple of them. Wow, there's 2 of them. So if this is a bad one, I'm going to have to like remove those. But I did a thing online. Like I questioned online what these are. Because you don't want to just automatically remove all the insects from your garden. Because their purpose is to pollinate things. They actually have a purpose. And I mean, they have to eat just like we do. You don't want them to eat your garden, but I mean, that's what their diet is. So the ones that are just doing damage to your garden are the ones you want to remove. Now, the hornworms will absolutely decimate your garden. Those have got to go. The army hornworms, or the army worms, which might be what that is. I mean, if they don't do hardly any damage to the garden, then I'm not going to worry about it. So, I mean, some of these things, like, see, these nasturtium has got some little holes on it. I don't know if that's flea beetles. I have no clue what that is. But I'm seeing these little holes on some of them. And as long as it's not a big deal, as long as it's not, like, really affecting the plant, I'm just leaving it. Because I want a biodiverse garden. And I want it to, take care of itself. I want to have beneficial insects that come into this garden because there are bad ones here. So they will come here and they will eat them. So like the watermelon plant, 2 days ago, I came out here and there was a ladybug on it. And she stayed there the ladybug stayed on that plant all day long because every time I came out, which I came out 2 more times, it was still on there, and one was in the evening. And so that ladybug was just going on that plant down there and just eating all the aphids on it. And the ants weren't real happy because ants try to collect the juices and stuff from the aphids. So they don't like when the aphids get killed. So they were trying to get the ladybug to leave, but the ladybug just ignored it. The ladybug just ignored all the ants and it just did its thing. So I'm going to get some things in here I don't want, but I'm also hoping that the things that I do want will come here. So like probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I saw a honeybee in that raised planter right over here. Now over here, I've got some garlic chives. I took the kale out. That's Swiss chard. This is a multicolor. It's a type of amaranth. It's multicolor spinach. You can use this exactly like spinach. So I'm growing, and it's heat tolerant. So I'm growing it for a salad green for the summer. Then I've got some Merlot lettuce, which is not as heat tolerant. So whatever. And some mesclun, I think. Yeah, see, that's the Merlot. This is the mesclun. I think it's a little bit better. This is the Brussels sprouts, which I'm never going to get Brussels sprouts on them. I'm just leaving them for the shade for the lettuce. That's the only reason why I'm leaving. Because I keep coming out here and finding the flipping caterpillar, the moth caterpillars on here. Cabbage moth caterpillars, whatever. They're not, but anyway, so I saw a honeybee over here, and it was right after I had watered. So I think what happened was it happened to be over here and it got wet, because I watched it for a while and it looked like it was drying its body off. And I realized that is the first honeybee that I have seen in my garden. Absolutely is the only honeybee I've seen this year. And I honestly cannot remember any other time I've ever seen a honeybee in my yard. And that's a big deal. I want honeybees to be here, collecting nectar, pollen, collecting the pollen, pollinating. Honeybees are a really good indicator of how biodiverse your garden is. And I was so excited when I saw that one. This is orange mint and a hibiscus. So how long is this video? Almost 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop it.